Today we are going to complete our ES6 and one announcement. Next week I'm doing a JavaScript advanced to mastery, and this is the first time I'm doing this. So advanced concept you're going to learn, and what I've seen this concept generally you don't use that much in programming, but that is asked a lot in interviews and all. So that's the reason we are going to do that thing. Okay, so that is it. And tomorrow there is a 2-day boot camp. Complete HTML, JavaScript, and React. Just please do attend it, and it's everything will be taught in that. Okay, so that is the let me share my screen because we need to cover a lot in ES6. Okay, so let me share that. Okay, so this is what we did yesterday. We did like a solution with spread, copy by value, these things we have done. Okay, so still something more is also remaining, so let us do that. And the thing which is remaining, that is okay, so let us do one more thing here. We can do like merging also with the spread operator. So it's a very means easily we can do some merging. Very nice. Okay, let me show how the merging happens. So I don't want the output. I read the console. Okay, so merging with, and I have to see what you people are typing on my. Okay, so merging. Let's see. Maybe I'm live. Oh, yeah, it is live. Yeah, happy evening. Okay, so merging with the spread. Merging with the spread. So one sec. Merging with the spread operator. Okay, let us do that. Suppose there is a x1 is there, and is having like maybe 97. And one more thing, I can give a comma also to give the next element, like comma and x2, like this I can give. Okay, it means it is also let. Okay, so that is equal to 97, then maybe 1813, and comma x3 equal to 16, and this is there. Okay, this is there, and let B1. See, earlier, this merging of this three array used to be very difficult. But nowadays, what happens with the spread operator, you can merge it very easily. Like I'll do this, and then dot x1. Again, it will spread it, and it is like a copy of a value which you have seen yesterday. So that will be done. X1, not a dot, dot x2, and comma dot and x3. Okay, like this it is there, and then I'll do a console dot log of b1, console dot log of b1, and okay, too many things are coming here. Okay, let me comment this out. So see, so this is coming like 97, 18, 13, and 62. So this is how you spread it separately, and then do a comma to add it on. So this is how we merge with spread operator. Very useful thing. And earlier, trust me, it used to be very difficult without this spread operator. And the spread operator is something which you're going to use a lot. Lot means a lot, everywhere. So today only I was teaching again this means Redux, and there also means somewhere we're using the spread operator. And spread operator in Redux also there was a state in which we're using spread operator. If you do React, you'll learn what is a spread operator, and React is also there on the channel. You can do that. Okay, so that is there, and I'll do a JSbin now. JSbin, and again. That's the console. Now the spread operators are also used in objects, and objects are used in user differently. Okay, so what is spread operator in objects? Spread operator in objects. So let me have let obj1 equal to this foo. Foo will have a bar, comma, x will have a 42, and comma obj2 equal to 2 and bas, and y is 13 is there. Okay. Y 13 is there, and so okay. So the first thing which we are again going to do, okay, I have taken two things, but let me use the first one first. And first thing which I'm going to do is the copying of one object to another. Again, if we cannot directly copy, we'll have some problem. If we will not directly copy, we will copy with the spread operator because it's copies by value. So suppose I want to copy this obj1, which okay, I should not have written this thing, so forget it right now that I have written it. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me cut it actually. Okay. So suppose this obj1 is there, and now what I want to actually clone this object. Okay, why clone or copy this object? Copying is also known as clone. Copying is also known as clone. So let us first copy this, then I will tell what is this clone thing. Cloned, why it is known as cloned. Cloned obj equal to, again I have to do a dot obj1, dot obj1, and this is the main way to clone. Okay, this is the main way to copy or clone, whatever it is you can say. So console.log of zero maybe obj, and yeah, it will be copied like this. And one thing is there, why it is known as clone, why I'm telling it as clone. So in programming language, everything have a story, everything means something. Even if not in a story, everything is because of something. So when I copy something, it is known as clone because it's actually clone. So what are clones? Clones are like in real world, Dolly the sheep, the clone was there, which is exact copy of someone. So clones are the exact copy of someone, but they are individual personalities. They will not be like the from whatever you clone something, it will not be the same. So here also it is like that. If I'm cloning something from obj1, this is a different, although it is the exact copy of it, but it will behave differently. So that's why this word cloned is used here. Okay, cloned is used in programming a lot. Okay, so that is there. So this is how we do this thing. And other thing is that merging. So merging is also there in the spread operator. So that's the reason I was actually done this. So let's do the merging now. So let me gd merged obj, and you might have guessed what I'm going to do, like dot obj1 comma dot obj2 like this, and then I'll do a console.log of merged obj, and it will be like so. Here an interesting fact is there. Okay, so the fact is that, see, in the obj1 and obj2, what is there? I have something which is common there. Foo of bar and foo of bars, which is common. See, the key is common. X and Y are there, but key is common in both of them. Foo is there. And there is a property in objects. The property is that an object cannot have the same key. So when you are merging, this resultant object cannot have the same key. It is not possible. So what will happen? Foo, the last one of the foo will be taken. So bars will be taken, and X and Y will be because they're different, will be taken like this. Foo bar will not be taken. It cannot be taken because the object, one of the main properties is that a key should always be unique. So that's why the last one will be taken. So this is like bars is taken because this is the last one. So that is how this spread operator in objects are there. Okay, so that we are done with this. Now let us again go back to here. After this, what? After this template literal, because we are following this in template literal, I'm not going to tell why, because I already told. I think that my age is the thing example, that is that a backtick you have to take. Okay, so that is there, and I have already told, so I'm not going to tell. Now we are going to go into the next topic, which is the array and object destructuring. What is array and object destructuring? So it is written with the destructuring syntax. You can extract a small fragment from the array and object. You can also handle nested structure by using nested destruction syntax. Okay, so that is there, array and object. So let's do that, and JSbin and JavaScript console is there. and then array destructuring, and const RGB equal to suppose 255 comma 200 comma 0. Okay, so that is there. So what is array destructuring? Array destructuring is a shortcut. Okay, and it is a very important shortcut. Array destructuring is very important. Why array destructuring is very important? There is something in React which is a React hooks. Nowadays everybody uses hooks in React, and this React hooks is actually uses array destructuring. So that's why array destructuring is important to learn. Okay, so that is it. All the ES6 features we teach because they're important in React, and the final goal of our channel is you to learn React to get a job. That is the most important framework to get a job. We teach Angular also, but not that much. React is the main thing to get a job, and ES6 is the first stepping stone before React. Without ES6, you cannot work with React because all the features of ES6 are used in React. Okay, if you know little bit of JavaScript, it is okay, but ES6 is also JavaScript only, but you have to know everything in ES6. All the concept which you have taught till now, spread operator, array destination, everything is used in React. Okay, so array destination, let us go ahead. So what will happen in, suppose I want to access some value from here. So how do I access it? So I'll do a const r equal to RGB of 0. So this is the normal way. I'm telling the normal way first. Okay, so then const g equal to RGB of 1 and const b of 2. So this is like this. Then I have a print name. So console.log of r comma g comma b, okay, like this. And hello crunchy work, hello everyone. Okay, someone else is there or not? Okay, so if I print it, so it will come like this. Okay, so nothing special here. This is how we access array element, and that is very important, how to access the array element. So but now what is destructuring? In destructuring, what will happen? First I will comment out this 3 lines. We need 3 lines to access 3 elements, but with destructuring, with only one line, I can access. So let us do that line. Okay, it is like const, and RG we have taken, you can take red, green, and blue only. Also RG, but I'll take RG, comma B equal to RG. It's a weird kind of format. It seems like an array is there, but actually what happens? It is a replacement of the above 3 lines. So R will be assigning the first element, G will be assigned the second element, and B will be assigned the third element. So it is like that. Clear it, run it, and it will be shown like this RGB. Okay, so that is there. And now, so this is how array destructuring works. Nothing difficult. Only the thing is that the syntax is a bit weird. I find it a bit weird, but this is how it is there. And you have to understand this. Okay, the first one will go to this. First element will go to R, second element will go to G, third element will go to B, and this array thing I take it before this. Some of the syntax of ESS is really weird. This kind of syntax we have seen in that. Yesterday also, what is this called? I always forget the name because dynamic fields. We've seen this in dynamic fields also yesterday. Okay, that is it. So now the next thing which we are going to learn is object destructuring. Okay, so array destructuring is there, object destructuring is also there. So object destructuring again used in React. Where it is used, so I'm giving all the things where it is used. These are props in React. There is a props in React, which anyways you're going to learn in the React course. But React course will be this one towards the end because I have two more things before this. So this object destructuring is there. So object destructuring, what happens in the object destructuring? Object destructuring is using props in React, and it is using class-based component also, hook-based component also. And you're going to learn, and you can learn. We've done a lot of React also every month we do, so you can see that. Okay, DSPR struct should be able to spell. So I'm not able to spell all these things. So const developer equal to first name value last name, response, and country, yes, India, like this. Okay. So this is there. Now I want to show the first name, last name, and country. Okay. So what is the normal way? So the normal way is like const first name. Okay, I'm using the same variable. You can use a different variable also. Const first name equal to developer dot first name. So this is the way. So let me do it two more times. Then const last name equal to developer dot last name. Const country equal to developer dot country. So all these things are there. So now I can do it. Console dot log out. First name, comma. So this is the normal way. I could have taken some different name also, but I've taken the same name. So first name, last name, and country I'll do, and it will now give me all these three things. Okay, Bindu Vishwas India. So again, the shortcut is like this. I will again remove this all. Okay, I'll comment this all, and again the shortcut is almost like this only. Okay, so const, but it's an object, so we'll give the curly bracket. We will have curly bracket like this, and then first name, last name, and country. First name, last name, country equal to developer. Developer. Direct run. Same thing is coming. So this is how it is there. Array destruction. Okay. So that is there. Now the next thing is there. Before moving to the main topic, actually the main topic, not a main topic, but array helper methods are very important, and they are again used a lot in modern JavaScript programs, also vanilla JavaScript, which is known as, and they are also used a lot in your like React a lot. Okay, so that is there. So before that, before moving to array helper method, there is a last topic which is remaining, which is the classes in ES6. Okay, JavaScript, as I always tell, JavaScript is a functional programming language. There was no concept of classes, but ES6 they introduced classes in JavaScript. They thought, okay, so let us have some object-oriented kind of thing like Java and all. Actually, that backfired. It was released in 2015, and all the frameworks and libraries like Angular and React were the first to take classes and introduce in them. So React was having a class-based component. All of you know React has class-based component. Then what happened? React slowly recognizes that the classes are not binding well. There are a lot of issues with classes. Classes makes the code also complicated. One of the main motto of React is to make the code very simple. When you're going to do React projects, you'll see that it is 100 times more easier than the vanilla JavaScript projects which are there. Okay, so one of the main thing of React is to make everything very, very easy. Okay, so classes code are a bit tough. You're going to see that. That is one of the reasons Java is 100 times tougher than JavaScript. Okay, so that is the reason. Java is very tough. So that is there. So let us see now classes in JavaScript. But classes are not that much, means it has got all the features like that, but not that much crazy features like in Java, like polymorphism and all those things. And React classes are also very easy, not objects or something are used. Okay, so I don't have any PPT file. Okay, this PPT I can share. This PPT. Okay, this is not a PDF. And people say PDF. Okay, this I will share. This I will definitely share. Okay, this is not a PPT. Okay, that is very confusing. PPT. This is a, yeah. This is not a PDF file. This is a PPT file. It is a PowerPoint presentation. Means not PowerPoint presentation, but it's a Google PowerPoint, whatever it is called. Okay, so anyway, that is the theory only. So JSbin is there. I will again open it. JSbin. Wait, it's slow. No. So JavaScript and console, and now we are going to learn about the classes in JavaScript. Okay, so classes are also known as ES6 classes, and if you're coming from some other programming background like Java or C++, this will be like a piece of cake. But if you're not coming from the other programming background like Java and C++, this will be one of the toughest thing which you have ever seen in your life, because classes are tough to implement, tough to explain also. Why the hell we use classes? But I will try to explain See, if you're not able to learn from me, there are you can also learn from some other places this classes concept, because wherever you learn this classes concept, anyways you have to use it. Because if you're going to tomorrow work in Angular project, Angular is also used a lot in India, especially because all service companies, big service companies like the big 4 5, TCS, Infosys and all, they have a lot of Angular projects. Okay, so that's why this month we will have some serious Angular stuff also, like Angular week will be there, plus some very big Angular projects we are going to do. Okay, because a lot of people are asking for Angular, because a lot of people in India works for TCS, Infosys and all those companies, because they are the biggest employer. Okay, so they require this Angular thing. Okay, so in fact, in a lot of my corporate batches also, I have to teach Angular, because a lot of startups are service-based company and they have clients who use Angular. Okay, so enough of talk. Let us honest, I will not be able to complete. I have a class also at the night, my paid class. Okay. So ES6 class is constructor. So I have a class. So class is with class keyword. Class you can take as a replacement for a function. Means there is a functional approach in which you will divide everything in a function. There is a class approach in which you divide everything in a class. So I have a write a class, and class create room. So C this C and C is capital. So for classes we take what is known as a Pascal case. The first one is capital. In React, in JavaScript, most of the time we take the first one as small letter. So here it is not like that. Okay, so class create room, and then constructor name. And so what is this constructor and what is this name? Let me write the code, then I will try to explain it. And let me write the code first. Okay, name and this dot room equal to, and this is again a very important thing, and next week we are going to learn in detail what is this keyword, because we are going to do JavaScript advanced to mastery next week, first time on this channel, first time certification on this channel. I have done this on this channel earlier. This channel was not like this. There was no live classes, there were no certification, just I used to do the stuff. Okay, so now this channel has changed a lot. Everything is live here in this channel. Nothing is like record, and everything have a certification. Most of the things, sometime maybe very less, 1% or something, maybe we don't have certification, but everything have certifications. Okay, clean room soap is there, and then console dot log cleaning on the this dot room with so classes, so let me explain a bit. Classes have two major parts. One is a constructor, which runs when the class is initialized. We'll see how it is initialized. And one is this other thing is a function. So inside classes also some functions are there, which are local, which are private to that classes, and they are used means they're used to they are run through some objects, and how they run and all, I'm going to check. So I have a constructor in which I have a this dot room. This is a kind of a variable which I'm making it equal to your names, which I'm passing here, which I'm passing in the constructor. And then there is a clean room which has parameter soap is being passed, and again I'm using this dot room also and the soap also. So how do we initialize the class? We initialize the class by creating a something known as objects, something known as the object. Okay, yeah, great. Angular is most probably the last week of the month. Okay, so it is like not last week. Okay, this it will according to it will on 28 June, 28th June. This week will be the Angular week, Angular beginners to advanced. Plus on Wednesday, those who don't know, on Wednesday 9 a.m. generally I do some projects and all. So we have started doing projects. So at 9 a.m. we are going to do some very big two Angular projects. Already there's some Angular projects on this channel, but two very big Angular projects will be done. Okay, so that is there. So let's get started. And Angular have also classes a lot. So these classes you cannot escape nowadays in JavaScript. Angular also, all the components are nowadays classes. Okay, so classes, at least a bit of things you have to know, although you don't have to go that much deep, just like in Java and C++, in Angular also, and React also, and JavaScript also, of course. Const yes naps room, so I will be naps room equal to new create room, and new room. suppose I have this. And all of these JSbins, I'm pasting it in the description. So every day means every day you can find it, all these JSbins in the description. Okay, so that is there. And now, so this is how we create some objects of this classes. We create objects with a new keyword, and this is different than JavaScript object. These are also known as objects, but this is different than the JavaScript object. Okay, so and then what I can do, let me write the complete code, then we'll explain in detail. So this naps room, to call this function, actually I have to do it through the object. So clean room function, and I have to pass something like this. If I run it, it will be doing correctly. So notice that in this naps room, Navindu's room is coming, and Sika's room is coming. So let us start from the start. So what is actually a classes? Classes is this is a classical theoretical part which you have which your college professor might have told. So classes are a blueprint, and suppose there is a popular example. Just suppose there is a factory which prepares car. So in the robotic, everything is done by robots only in the car factory. So they will put a blueprint of the car, and that robotics arm that will create that car, like the frame of the car it will create. So to keep on doing so, all the cars coming out of it, maybe Maruti 800 is coming, they will be same. So they will be same, maybe something like color and all will be different, that we can do it with this soap kind of a thing. So that is like the classes are a blueprint, and the objects are the main thing which are the means done. And one problem with the classes is that classes, when we create an object of the classes, it will create a separate copy of it, this thing. Okay, that is something else. It will create a separate copy of this, so it will have its own constructor, it will have its own clean room. That is actually a very big wastage of memory. And I will tell one more a little bit story with this thing. Okay, I will have a little bit story. I don't have a playlist of oops and all, because I have given up that old language a long time back. See, that oops and all are taught in colleges and all only, and no jobs in oops. So I started as a C++ developer, like 16 years back, and after that means it is not used. It is not used now anywhere. Okay, so oops and all, I don't even remember what is C++. Okay, so I don't have these things because nobody uses that. Okay, so enough of that, because I can go on chatting on telling on that. Okay, so this what is happening here means the class is created and this constructor is there, and the constructor have something known as this dot room. So what is this keyword again? This is like a variable, like a var or let, you can understand, but this have access to a lot of other places, like even if I do a var or a let or something, this is a sort of a function. It scope will not be outside this, but when I use a this, I can use it here also. And as I've told, whenever I create an object of the class, this is known as object of the class with the new keyword. What it will do first, when the create room will be called, this constructor will call, because create room I'm passing some value, so this constructor will call, and in this constructor this dot room will be associated with this. Okay, this dot room will have this Nabendu's room, but only for this object. Second object, only for second object Shikha's room will be there. Third object, it will be there. So when we're calling this naps room dot clean room, see this dot room will having this Nabendu's room, so this is not possible with the normal function. And Shikha's room have Shikha's, and this Lysol is okay, this soap is going there, it is okay, but this, it is very much impossible to have this thing. This is done because when we create object, it gets its own copy of the classes. When I create this, it will have its own copy of this constructor and the clean room. When I create in the second object, it will have its own copy of this thing, own copy of this thing. So this own copy, because of this own copy is the problem. Your Android phones get slow. Your Android phone gets slow because of this reason. This is the reason, biggest reason your Android phone gets slow. Why Android phone gets slow because of this? Because Android and all are mainly made with a programming language, apps and all. They're made with Java. Java is a very big problem. Java is a very slow language. Once it gets, so see what happens. I'm creating a new object. So it is creating somewhere in the memory. Then there is something in Java known as garbage collection is there in Java, which actually deletes that memory. And slowly, what happens in an Android phone, that garbage collection deletes this, delete, and your Android phone gets slow after 1 year. Simple as that. That is the reason Android phone gets slow. Everything have a story. Every technology have a story. So this is the story why Android phone gets slow, and you cannot fix it. As simple as that. So that is there. So let us go ahead. Enough of how Android phone gets slow. Get the Apple phone. It will not get slow because it doesn't have all these things. Okay. Even I have an Android phone. It is very slow after 1 year. Now it is hanging. So JavaScript console is there, and so now the main thing which you are going to learn is like this array helper method. So we're going to learn array helper method like for each map filter and reduce. We're going to learn. So they're the main array filter method. Let me actually So let me have something. So first thing is that we are going to learn about for each. For each we're going to learn, and let us first see about the classical for loop. Okay, so let me have one array like this. Let family is there, and then suppose I have to loop through it and print each family member. So I'll do for let I equal to 0, I is less than family dot length, and I plus and console dot log and family I. This. So this is how you print with a normal for loop, like I equal to 0, I is less than family dot length. Family dot length is 3 by default. If family dot length is 3, so what will happen? First time it will come here, family 0, it will print Nabindu. Then it will come here and it will increment family 1, means I will be 1, then I will be 2. Then it will not have go to 3 because 3 is less than 3 is not true. Family dot length will be 3 actually. So an array start with 0. So that's why how it works, and this will print. Now the ES6 way, or not the ES6 way, yeah, ES6 way, for each. For each is something which is like heavily used in React and vanilla JavaScript project, because the main benefit of it is all this complicated thing, and I have shown for each earlier also, can be done in one line, and for each uses arrow functions. Okay, so let us do that. It's for each, and it is like dot for each, and write anything like item or else, but let us write something logical. Okay, because family contains member is like this, and I will have a console dot log of member. So it uses something known as arrow function, because this is the format of a for each. Okay, so I have to, and for each only works on array. It's like a for loop, but it works only on arrays only. So for loop you can use it for multiple reasons, but it is these are all array helper methods. These are known as array helper method. They works only on arrays. So member I have taken, and this is how what happens in here. It will now start iterating over it. Means internally it might use something like this only. Okay, internally use something like this, but it start iterating now. Okay, so member like this is there. It will like iterate, and each of the members it will print. Okay, let me also comment out this thing now, so that it is not printing like this. Clear and run. So like this it will come in the Shikha. Sorry. No, for each is not similar to map. We're going to come to map next. Okay, so for each is like a for loop. It's not at all similar to map. Okay, so and map is something which is used most in React, and for each also people use, but map is like heavily used in React. Means without map there is no React. And so this is how, that is a for each. For each is just similar to your for loop. Now we'll come into map. Okay, so map we're going to use. So first let us see the map users. Actually this is not the only map users. Map is used a lot. Okay, and when you're going to do React, you're going to learn is why it's like map users. Okay, map use case. Oh, I told the Angular date as wrong actually. Actually, we have React also. Angular date is 27th. Okay, 27th. Okay. Map use case. Okay. Let MBERS let numbers equal to 6, comma 8, comma 10. So I have a number, and suppose I want to change this number to have everything double. So I want to double this thing. Double this like 6 into 2, 8 into 2. So 12, then 16, 20. I want that in this array. So without map, how I can do it without map? So we can do this thing with map also, and I'll also explain the difference between for each map, and there is something known as filter also. Okay, that's a very important thing. Let so double equal to an empty array I will take, and without ES6 we need to do this, means without map, not ES6, without map. And then I'll have a for let I equal to 0, I is less than numbers dot h I plus plus. And now again we have to go to this number like for loop, and then what I'm going to do, this doubled double doubled dot push. I have to push, and then numbers I into 2. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm looping through it, and each of the numbers I'm taking, like 6, I'm taking 6 into 2, and then I'm pushing in this empty array, and I'm pushing it in empty array. So now if I have a console dot log of doubled, if I have, then see it will be 12, 16, 20. So this is how it is done. So now we're going to change this into a map. So let me also comment this out so that it will not show. So for map, again the format is like same. Format of for each and all looks like same only. So now here I will have the array, which is the numbers dot, let me write also this map. Okay, numbers dot map, and then I'll have this. Maybe let me take it num. I can take number also, but let me take it num, and num I have taken. Then I will have I can take item also. It doesn't matter, but this does matter. This is this array. So num into 2. Just this I have to do. Num into 2 I will do. Okay. Then I'll clear it and run it. So okay, it is okay. What I have done? Totally wrong. Okay, totally wrong I have done. First thing is that map always returns something, so I have to have it in something. So I will have it in maybe const doubled not take the same variable name again, double ds6, and then I will have a console.log of. So this is the difference number 1 with for each. Okay, I will going to also explain how this works. So now you will clear it, run it, it will show me this thing. So first thing, that how does map run? So map is just, it takes each element of an array and it will do some operation and return the new element, and then also return the whole array. Okay, return the new element, like what is taken when it is going to loop, just like a for each, it is going to loop. It is also going to loop here, and I'm taking that each element is number 2. So first time it will come, so 6 into 2, then the next element 8 into 2, and then it will also put it in a variable. But the for each, see the difference is the for each like a normal for loop, nothing is like here, nothing. And another thing is that map always returns something, so it is returning something. And if something returns something, you have to catch it. So we catch it in a variable. We are catching it in a variable so that it is there. And this is like a like, it is not overriding numbers. This is like a new variable also. That is a very cool thing. It is a new variable. We never want to override the old thing. And one more thing is very important in map to understand is that if I enter something, okay, see here we were looping through an array and showing some items. So this is totally different for each. But in map, if I give an array of length 3, I will always get back an array of length 3 only, and I will get back an array. The main thing is that I will get back an array also, an array of length 3 only. So that is what I will get back. but there is a difference between map and filter. So a lot of people get confused with that. So let us do the filter now. Okay, filter we're going to do. So JSbin, and the filter is again used a lot in React and Angular and vanilla JavaScript projects and all those things. Okay. So I will first look into like filter use case and all. For that, I'm going to take an array of object. I'm going to take like a name and a smartphone. So this is a very common example. Okay, why this is a very common example? See, if you go to Amazon main site, you will see that okay, I'm getting all the things, and then there will be some filter, and you click on some filter, like you want to see only smartphones, and you go there and click on the smartphones, and all the smartphones will come. Initially maybe it was showing everything else. So what actually happened on the Amazon front end? So some Amazon front end engineer must have written this something like this filter kind of logic, because what happens in the home page, there is a big data comes, a very big API endpoint comes, which I've seen that like fake store API endpoint, and it will contain all the items on Amazon. And then what will happen when you click on some filter on something, that something will that something like a smartphone or something will get. So think it as like an Amazon endpoint only, in which I'm showing some name and category. Although in Amazon there will be like another 30-40 things like price, pictures, ratings, and all those things. So this is how everything works on the internet. So suppose I want to filter all the laptops. Okay, so how to do that? So without filter, again it's a ES16. So without filter, how I can do that? So let so we have first see the way, means before 2015 filtered, and now also you can use it because I'm using right now. Let filter. Again, I have to take an empty array. So before 2015, we used to take a lot of empty array, and I still remember those days. We used to take a lot of empty arrays. Okay, and when ES6 was released, and as usual, Internet Explorer was not supporting ES6 during the initial years, then we have to write code two times, one for Internet Explorer and one for the rest of the browser. And at that time, we actually have to write this code also and that code also. Okay. Then Internet Explorer become out of control and so bad that Microsoft have to retire it. Nowadays, you won't find Internet Explorer on Windows system, and Windows have got Edge. Those who don't know, Edge is completely based on Chromium, which is the platform which is like the backend. This is what it is called. It is called the engine which runs Chrome. It is known as Chromium. Very popular engine because Node.js is also based on that. So for let I equal to 0 and I is less than. So this I'm first doing the way in which we'll do without the filter method from ES6. Okay, so okay, LENGTH and I plus plus. These are for regular I is less than products or then I plus plus, and I want to filter all the smartphones maybe. So how I do that? So inside this, it will what it will do, this products dot length, each of the loop will give me access to each of the array, each of the object. Okay, so after this I will do if products I products I will give me access to each of the object dot category equal to smartphone and filtered products dot push. Okay, filtered products. No, okay, it is like filtered dot push and products I. So what I'm doing, whenever this it will category is smartphone. So first one category is smartphone. So first iteration it will come, second iteration it will come, third iteration it will not come. So again this empty array I'm pushing this in. So if I do a now a console dot log of filtered, will see this only to this smartphone and this. Okay, so that is it. So now again, instead of this, we can use a filter which is like again a very cool and a small code. So I'll have a let fill TEREDES6, and it will be like products dot filter, again the same kind of a syntax, and then I will take this as, maybe I'll take this time as item. I will take anything item. I also can take item dot category. Let us take a laptop. Let us take a laptop here. Okay. So console dot log filtered ES6 I will do, and you'll see that, okay, so these two have come. Okay, so this is coming, this, and the logic is that it is like it will go to each of the item, and I have to give some condition here, means I have to give some condition to check like this, that here we have, and if that condition, whatever I'm checking, if that is true, then only it will add that item, or else it will not add that item. So each of the iteration it will check whether it is there or not. And there is again a difference between a filter and map. Filter is also returning something, but see, it is not returning the same length. I was having an array of length 4, but I am getting back an array of length 2 only, and even I can get an array of length 4 also, computer, and but I can get an array. So I'm giving computer, and there is nothing like computer. So I'm getting an empty array also. So I can get an empty array also in this. So filter, it is not guaranteed means how much you will get, but maps, it is always like if you give a array of length 3, you will get an array of length 3 back. Filter, if you give an array of length 4, you can get array of length 4 also, 3 also, 2 also, 1 and 0 also. Okay, so that is there. So this is done. Now we will see the last topic here in here, and which, as I mentioned, is the reduce. Reduce, when ES6 was introduced, so the JavaScript people have thought that reduce will become very popular, but reduce never become that much popular, because one thing is that people don't like complicated things. If people would have like complicated things, Angular would have been number one. Angular have so much features. I know, means I teach Angular. Angular have so much features. Everything is built into Angular, but it has got so much features that it makes it complicated also. So that's why React is so much popular. Similar to this, reduce is very powerful, but it is not so much complicated that I have to only show a very simple example of it, and some use case of reduce. Okay, so like use case of it, actually reduce, if you see some old kind of code and all, you can use reduce instead of the filter, map and all this thing, but nobody does that thing. Okay, so I have a let, suppose I have a let numbers equal to 20 comma 30 comma 40. Suppose I have this thing, okay, 20 comma 30 comma 40, and actually this is a last topic, so it's a good time paper assignment. Market readiness here, so please market it. So what is this reduce? So this reduces that I have a number, like a number array, and what I want to do, I want to do sum of it. I want to get the sum of it, just the sum of it, like 20 plus 30 plus 40. So how we do it without reduce? Okay, so I'll have a var sum equal to 0, and then I'll have a, again I'll have a for loop for let I equal to 0, I is less than numbers and I plus plus, and sum plus equal to numbers and, okay, sum plus equal to number size there, and then console.log of sum. Okay, console.log of sum is there. So how this, if I give a sum, it will give me 90. How does this work? A zero, sum of 0 variable is there, then numbers dot length, it will learn, so it is learned from 0 to 3. 3 is the length, so sum, first iteration it will come, sum will be 0 plus equal to means sum equal to sum plus numbers I. So 0 plus numbers I, numbers of 0 is 20. 0 plus 20 is 20. Then next time the sum will be 20. 20 plus 30 is like 50, and then it is like that. It will work. Okay. So how to use this with reduce? So reduce, we'll use this like I'll come here and I'll write a const reduce, or okay, const reduce, or maybe some reduce equal to numbers dot reduce, numbers dot reduce. And here what happens, I have to take two variables. Okay, it is not like one, I have to take two. One is like ACC and one is like comma CU or cur. Okay, like this. Yeah. And most of the cases we take only one variable. Here we have to take two variables, and we have to take a curly bracket also, because when here I need to return something, means that return something is okay, but I need to have some variable here. Okay, so that you can only give a curly bracket is there. Okay, in all these things also you can take this curly bracket and return, but as we know in arrow function, if you have only one statement, we can omit those things. Here we cannot omit because we have a like this default values there. So what is the default value here? Sum of 0 have taken, so this is like the default value. So let me show like where it is like return ACC plus cur there, and let run it. It is not showing because I have not done any console log, so how it will show console.log of sum reduce. Is it run it? So again it is not showing. Not showing, sometimes it happens in there. So how does this work? So reduce have two things. One is known as accumulator, one is known as current. Accumulator accumulates something, and it is like the sum. It is like the sum. So accumulator, and what happens, I have given a 0 here. So the initial value of accumulator will be 0. So when it will come to this first loop, first time it will come, current is the current value. So first it will run like this. 0 is the accumulator plus current is 20, which is like 20. Then I have a 20 plus 20 is the accumulator now, and current is 30, which is like 50. Then 50 is the accumulator, and the 40 is a current value, and it will be 90. So this is like this would work. And one more thing here it is that I can also change the initial value to 10. So if we change the initial value to 10, it will be showing me 100. So that is something which you can do. So this is done, and with this we have completed everything in JavaScript, and like everything which is required for you to become a React.js developer. There is a lot more things also in JavaScript to actually master that JavaScript and all. And it is sometimes JavaScript is very easy language to learn, but very difficult to master, because it requires a lot of things. A lot of things means it requires so much things because it takes 1 to 2 years to even master it. Okay, so that is there, and will try to master it next week, but doing something like there are some complicated stuff are there, like some internals working of JavaScript are there, which you should know to master JavaScript. That is something which we are going to learn next week in the JavaScript first time on this channel, JavaScript your advanced to master course. Okay, so that is there, and with this I'll end today's stream. Thank you all, and for attending this 5 days. Hope you have filled that attendance on. Thank you.